Hello there, everybody. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Guapish Rule 34. This time around, Guapish is going all in. We're gonna risk it all. Today, I'm introducing special guest Jackson. I never introduced you first, and how are you going to risk it all today?
I'm gonna fucking cut off my dick!
Fantastic, that's what I like to hear. Dillyn, as the most risk-averse person here, how are you going to risk it all?
I'm gonna state my opinions on a blog site opposing transsexual people.
Jesus Christ, already getting off into some hot topics today. Tanner Nikolai, how are you going to risk it all?
I'm gonna murder women and children.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Sounds good to me, my man. Alright, so guys, we got some pretty fun topics to be talking about here today, you know? We're just gonna mellow it out here a little bit more. So. I feel like we came in a little bit hot there. Ooh boy, we're
a little spicy.
Yeah,
a little toasty.
We're already gonna be getting Twitter on our asses for this one. It's sounding like.
Not Elon Musk's Twitter. They love this shit.
True. I saw the N-word was trending when he initially took it over.
Dear God.
That's very funny.
I thought it was very silly. Dude, people are constantly bitching about how, like, Twitter's really gone downhill lately. Oh, man,
it's
Twitter's fallen off as of now. It's exactly the fucking same experience I've always had on there.
Yeah, I have not experienced anything
I never
different.
go on Twitter, and to me, it's always been the same, so I don't really know what they mean.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. They're just bitching about nothing, ultimately, Dillyn.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, pretty basically.
Well, listen, hey, you know, Zuckerberg, he just launched Threads. It's the new competitor to Twitter, and I'm sure it'll work this time.
Possibly. Maybe.
Facebook is constantly trying to do bullshit, and they just never get anything right, do they?
They sure don't.
They're stretching themselves thin, man. They're trying to cover all the bases, and they're trying to do everything all at the same time.
Yeah, I remember at one point, early on in the AI game, you know, they were developing some AI. They had like two of them that were like running together at the same time, and they eventually had to shut them down because they invented their own language to communicate with each other.
Oh. Huh. Oh, yeah, I remember hearing about that. That shit got real dangerous real fast. That was crazy.
That's funny.
Yeah,
what do you think they were talking about?
Tough to say. Allegedly, the reason that they did that was because it deemed like English as being too inefficient to communicate.
Oh.
Huh.
Was it just like ones in, like, what the fuck was it, like, what's an example of how it was describing?
I'm not entirely sure. That's about as much knowledge as I got on the subject.
I'd love to see a picture of what this language looks like.
I'm sure you might be able to find it. Possibly.
I'll try finding it.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of being able to communicate with each other, though, guys, so last week a pretty silly thing happened that apparently none of us really caught on to.
Okay.
So, like, you know, we do Guapish at the movies here at Guapish, all right? And,
we sure do.
You know, as we do our rankings and such, sometimes some of us have pretty similar ranks as one another, you know? Sometimes, Jackson and Dillyn, they'll have, like, the exact same rank for a movie, and that's pretty fun whenever that happens. Yeah. Apparently, last week, unbeknownst to any of us, Jackson and I ranked all of the movies exactly the same as each other.
Oh, you guys didn't catch that in the moment?
Yeah, we just didn't notice, man. We just didn't notice.
I was plowing right through. So what's the any significance?
No, not like the fucking rankings for what we're doing right now, Dillyn. Like last week when we were ranking all the bullshit.
I know. I was just curious to see if there was a follow up to that discovery or not, or if
no, sir. I just thought it was silly.
Oh, it is pretty silly, man. Yeah, it's like you guys watched the movies together or something. It's crazy.
What does that have to do with anything, Dillyn? You didn't rank them anywhere near the same as we did.
I don't think I watched all the movies with you guys. I don't remember what movies we watched last week, to be honest.
You didn't watch Reservoir Dogs with us. That's the only one.
Oh, yeah.
I still don't think us actually watching the movies together has anything to do with what we rank them.
I know, I just thought I'd be silly.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, I think, we watched never mind. I'm getting movies mixed up now.
It's all going downhill immediately.
It is. Tanner, how's that search going? What'd you find, buddy?
It doesn't seem like they released any, like, screenshots of what these communications look like.
That's probably understandable.
I'm going to assume it was all in wingdings, and that's what that actually is.
That'd be pretty sweet.
If they did release that to the internet, theoretically, other AIs would just be able to pick up on that and also replicate it.
That doesn't make any sense at all, Dillyn.
I don't know how that doesn't make sense, but okay.
How would other AIs pick up on that?
I don't know. It's just like, hey, this is a neat little language thing here.
How would they, just being exposed to purely, like, some, unreadable text, even begin to decipher it?
Listen, man, I don't know anything about AIs. I'm just speculating here.
Okay.
Speculating's
Jackson,
fun.
you took many AI classes back in college. You actually specialize in this shit. Can you really have a word on this at all?
It might be able to figure it out if they train it to be able to decipher languages, I guess. I mean, it really depends on what the purpose of the model is. So it's not like that unrealistic that another AI could, in fact, try to interpret this language.
I think the problem is, though, like, if this is only a language that exists online, then there's literally zero context that you can use to translate it.
Yeah, I suppose that's fair. I was thinking of
Because,
something...
like, hypothetically, what happened is that the two AIs would say, okay, you know, these characters represent this concept, this, that, and the other, but since we never get to see that actual process, we have no way of actually breaking down and translating anything.
True. I mean, it definitely depends a lot on how the actual language these two AI created was, in fact, created. Like, if it is just, like, pattern matching with English and kind of simplifying it in certain ways, then another AI could totally recognize the patterns that it's doing and, you know, work around them. But, you know, hard to say. It could go either way, frankly.
It's possible. That's all I'm hearing.
It is entirely possible now, ain't it? Now, boys, we were talking a little bit about Twitter drama here just a moment ago, and there's been this big thing that's happened recently. Tanner Nikolai, have you heard about this whole, like, Skullgirls drama that's been going on?
I actually haven't. I'm very curious what this is.
Yeah, so bad news, boys, bad news. Skullgirls is no longer sexy.
Damn.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Yeah, so the big indie fighter, this happened like a couple weeks ago now. So what happened was that, so the creators of Skullgirls, just like unbeknownst to anybody, for seemingly no reason really, they decided to make a bunch of changes to Skullgirls to, like, you know, switch some things around that they deemed as being now a bit problematic, you know, just a little bit, just
What,
a
they
tad.
fucking clothed them?
A little bit here and there, yeah. They didn't, so... The only, like, real change to any of the characters that looked like was that one of the characters, like the main girl, Ophelia, or whatever the fuck her name is, apparently she's an underage character, guys. She's a little underage. So they wanted to make it so that she wasn't quite as sexy as like, she used to be. So she had, like, some attacks, I guess, that sort of, like, revealed her panties or whatever. And so they went in and, like, they changed that up so that you wouldn't be able to see that shit anymore.
Why not just increase her age?
Great question. I don't know why.
I guess that's a fair question. Why would you have an underage character in your fighting game? And especially with that moves, there's this...
Yeah, it does. I will say, like, that being the deal, it does make them seem a bit sus. Frankly, they should have never admitted culpability in the first place.
There was literally no reason to do, like, anything they ended up doing because nobody was complaining about it.
Right.
So what they actually ended up doing, it seemed like, was they just changed the color of her panties to not make them as noticeable. I don't think they actually changed the animations themselves.
That'd be too much work.
Did they make, like, a community post about this? Where
Yes,
like,
they
hey
did.
Guys.
Yeah, they made a big post about how, like, some of the things that we have in Skullgirls are a bit problematic today. We weren't really aware of this back then, but
Today.
we think that we need to change some of this shit up. So in addition to that, there would be, like, some, like, cutscenes or whatever where it should be happening. It would just be, like, these still images or whatever the fuck. And so in one of them, there's, like, a big old tentacle monster, like, grabbing onto some of the girls. And so they didn't want this to be, like, you know, super sexualized anymore. So what they did was they just covered the girls in more tentacles. That's how they fixed it.
That's
a solution, I suppose.
It sure is.
I feel like admitting there could be a problem. Never mind.
Yeah, it just seems weird. Like, listen, we get it. You guys love fighting games and you love being horny. We don't need no one. Like, everyone was cool, you know.
Yeah.
You know what this makes me think? I guess is there anything else you're adding to this topic before
There
I
is,
segue
yes,
into something
actually.
related? Okay.
So there were also, like, in, like, the story mode or whatever, there were the bad guys or whatever. They had very Nazi looking attire to them, and so they went in. They're like, "Ooh, Nazis are, like, not super great. We maybe shouldn't, like, really have, like, depictions of them in our game."
Can I just? In the context of the game, were they, like, villainous characters that you were supposed to dislike?
Yeah, to my knowledge.
Then I don't understand that logic. It gets thrown around a lot where it's like, oh, we can't have this in the thing because it's a reference to a bad thing. But you're like, in the context of the story, it's a bad thing. So like now you're saying, okay, we need to have bad guys, but
we love Nazis. We love Nazis.
That's like saying you're playing like the old Call of Duties and you can't have the Nazi soldiers be Nazi soldiers because that's a problem. It's like that
even though you're fucking shooting them.
It's World War II. Like, who cared? Like, in this game, they resemble people that look like Nazis. They're not actually Nazis. You're stopping them anyway. It's not like you're promoting, like, these are good people. Why does this matter?
You didn't ask for it. You didn't want it. But now you're a Nazi.
So what they end up doing with these Nazi-looking dudes is they just got rid of their red armband or whatever.
Huh.
Okay.
Everything else about them's the same, it looks like.
Interesting. That's
who cares,
right?
Apparently, these people.
The really egregious thing about this as well, by the way, was that these designs. Not only did they change them in the game itself, but the game also has like a digital art book as well, and they changed the designs in there too, where it was like displaying like the fucking character designs, how they progressed throughout development or whatever. And it's like some revisionist history sort of stuff, where they just
very strange.
Like
it's very odd.
Who exactly who pointed out like this? Was it just the game developers like, oh yeah, this could be
they
a
were
problem.
just like, hey guys, don't worry.
Or was it
We've
like
heard the non-existent complaints and we decided to act on it?
That's crazy. It's like the game president or whatever is like, hey, I haven't been keeping track of your... I don't know what else to call him. My brain... he's like, comes in at the end of the game being developed. He's like, hey, I haven't checked on you guys literally for any of this. Let me see what you got. And then just doesn't like any of it and asks them to change it. I don't know how else this would be a problem.
You did what?
God, you made them Nazis? Those are bad guys. But sure, they are bad guys. Stupid.
Yeah, so pretty sad stuff overall. Pretty
Next
sad
thing you know,
stuff.
they're going to take the Muslims out of Metal Slug.
Not the Muslims.
How else are you supposed to know you're fighting bad guys?
Ooh, yikes. Oh,
Yikes.
maybe,
Ooh, can I segue to my thing?
Yeah, go for it, Tanner.
That whole topic, it just kind of reminded me of, I don't know how recently this was, but, you remember the video game Lollipop Chainsaw?
Yeah.
No.
There was an article... Actually, I don't know if it was an article or a Twitter post or a Tumblr or whatever the fuck, but basically it was someone... Yeah, it was some bullshit where someone was like, dude, how were straight men into this? Like... And the thing they're positing here is that, hey... I'm a trans femme, lesbian, badass bitch or whatever, and so this was made for me, and I don't understand why straight men are into this fucking violent video game with zombies and a girl in a short skirt with her tits out. Like, remember back in the day, this game also got some attention as an example of the male gaze and how that was a big deal.
Yeah.
We've now done a complete 180 where not only is like super overtly sexualized female characters encouraged, it is now bewildering to people that men might be into that kind of thing.
Society's confused, man. They don't know what to think anymore.
I heard a great line from someone in analyzing that sort of sentiment where they said, the point of entertainment is not for you to identify as it.
That's a very fair point.
Yeah, so fun fact about Lollipop Chainsaw, it was actually made by the same dude behind No More Heroes. In addition to that, it was also made by James Gunn. He was a big figure in it as well. I think I
heard that, yeah.
I don't think I know who James Gunn is.
Would you watch a Lollipop Chainsaw movie?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. I've never played Lollipop Chainsaw, and I can't even confidently say I know what it even looks like, if I'm being honest. I'm just aware of it as a concept.
Yeah, it's like a hack and slash sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. You just fight zombies, that's about it for the most part. And there are wacky dudes who you gotta fight as well.
Mm-hmm. It's like a reverse Scott Pilgrim with zombies.
Yeah, exactly. You cut off your boyfriend's head at the very beginning of the game because he's like turning into a zombie or whatever, and he's just a disembodied head hanging on your waist the whole time. He just talks to you and shit. It's real silly.
Cool, I guess.
I remember seeing ads for that back in the day when it like initially came out. I thought it was the coolest shit ever. I don't think I had a game console back then, though.
Right.
Have you played the game, Nico?
Yeah, I have. It's pretty sweet. There's some like weird areas here and there where it's just like I don't know, it really feels like they're trying to pad it out as much as they can, where you're just like, you know, in like a fucking tractor or whatever, just mowing down zombies for like half an hour or some shit like that. It's like, man,
No.
I'd really prefer just like get to the normal gameplay again, but you know, them's the breaks sometimes, them's the breaks.
They gotta add variety for some spice, you know? Can't have you doing the same shit all the time.
Yeah, I guess so. Now, one thing that I'm wondering about here, Tanner, I have a hypothetical for you.
Okay.
This is a very important one, okay?
It better be.
I want you to be
I hope
prepared
so.
for this one, Tanner. I want you to be prepared
I could
for
not
it.
be more
So,
prepared than I am right now.
Tanner,
Yes.
the big question of the day. Do you think that you would take it if you get twice the strength you currently have, as well as you get twice the ability to like gain strength, but in return, you lose 2 points off of your attractiveness?
Twice my current strength
Yeah.
and double my ability to gain strength?
Yes, sir.
I mean, at that point, I'm like pretty easily able to become like a professional like weightlifter.
Yeah.
So I feel like the money.
You'll be quite a bit less attractive, though, man. 2 points?
Yeah, but like it's 2 points off my current attractiveness, but I could build up probably an extra 1.5.
But girls don't like
from-
massive fucking muscular dudes.
Yeah.
Some of them do.
Some of them do.
And some of them really like money.
Yeah.
A lot of them really like money.
It seems worth it to me, so I probably would go for it.
Okay, okay. Jackson said he wouldn't go for that when I asked him. Dylan, how about you?
No.
Well, twice his current strength just isn't that
I
much.
was gonna
so.
say like twice my current strength is like putting me at a normal man's strength. And the twice the ability of gaining strength, I just don't really care that much because I have to put out a lot of fucking work to actually make something out of that, and I don't really care that much about like I do care about my physical appearance, but not that much. But
Gotta eat more protein,
points,
Jackson.
20% is a pretty significant margin to lose for something I don't really care that much about.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you, Dylan, what'd you say?
No, I said no.
Okay, okay.
I think I'm fine where I'm at, man.
You don't want to get even stronger, though?
Listen, man, I already, from what I remember, I'm like a 7, so if I go down to a 5, it's all
You
over
really
for
do
me.
not remember those rankings
Yeah.
at all, do you?
No, I got a 7, that's what it
Bro
was.
goes down to dead average.
I think you might need to rewatch that one again.
I don't remember what episode that was.
Don't do it.
I'm
Dylan,
definitely
don't do
sure it was a 7.
I don't know if any of us hit 7.
I did.
So you say.
I watched the episode recently.
Why would you watch the episode recently? What was your
Because I was
purpose in doing
binging
so?
through all of them at work, you know? Because
Oh.
I fucking, at my work, I basically just chill there, and I listen to podcasts throughout basically the entire day. Now,
Yeah.
I've pretty much run out of podcasts I really want to listen to recently. So I've had to...
Have you started listening to the Tim Dillon show yet?
No.
You should listen to that. It's my favorite podcast besides ours.
I was about to say, hold on a second.
I might start listening to it someday, Tanner. Maybe. I'll put that one on the docket. However, as a result of this, I've now started just like really consuming pretty much any content that appears on like my recommended feed that's like an hour or two long, you know? And
okay.
that's resulted in me listening to some real fucking schlock recently. So this last week,
sense.
I watched a video about like why Always Sunny is bad now, okay? Like the pitfalls of the show. It was a real long fucking video essay or whatever the fuck. And this girl has some very strange points that I just really didn't agree with whatsoever. So one of her big things that she like really wanted to like hammer home was that she didn't like that they made fun of Mac for being gay. She really didn't like that whatsoever. She also really didn't like when they made fun of Mac being fat. That was also one where she was like, this is just a no-go. Fat jokes and gay jokes? What are you guys thinking here? These are like people who have it rough. You can't make fun of them.
Can't make fun. What? Why does she watch this show?
She needs to blast content out somehow, man. She ain't got no other thing to do.
She says like her
Is this-
favorite show.
Is this the entirety of her podcast? Just talk about It's Always Sunny?
No, that was just like one episode. It was
Okay.
just some random video essay. Like I said, Tanner, I'm just watching fucking anything that appears on my feed at this point. It's like an hour or two long.
Right.
Yeah. And yeah, I don't know. She did make some good points here and there, but for the most part, Yeah, it was just a bunch of dumb complaints like that.
Interesting.
All right, so boys, Tanner, do you want to check out our horoscopes here?
Right now?
No.
Okay.
What?
Honestly, I'd rather not.
Okay, I do think I should just... we'll do the triple signs, and I'll do a very brief summary of what it says the personalities are supposed to be for each of us.
Oh, okay.
But that will be a different episode. Don't worry about
Thank
it.
God.
There we go. Thank God.
I'll make it very nice and curated and tight.
We're all supposed to do our own, I'm assuming.
No.
No, Tanner just said he'll do it, Dylan.
I didn't know what you meant by triple point, man. I'm just making sure.
Come on.
Well, yeah, I'm gonna need to. I don't know how the triple thing works, so I'll have to research that, and then I'll ask for whatever information. I think I'd need to know what time each of you were born.
Time, jeez, I barely know like the time of day. I don't know exactly what time.
I can't remember if I was 5 a.m. or 5 p.m.
I definitely will not have that kind of information available to me.
Obviously, I'll ask your moms.
Wait, so horoscopes also operate off of time of day, not just fucking.
We are used to the normal zodiac sign, which is just like your birth month or some shit.
Oh, I thought it was like a time period.
There's also this new things that girls made up probably 8 months ago, where there's a rising and another word I can't remember, so that you have 3 signs total.
That's crazy. I would have never expected
and they
this.
mean something. I don't know anything about it, frankly.
There's like, I think I know what you're talking about. There's like one for like the sun, one for the moon, and then like your actual sign, and they're supposed to come together.
Some shit like that.
Yeah, I remember hearing about that. It's fucking complicated and bullshit.
Girls and their damn make-believe.
I just think it's dumb where people are like, I have my horoscope determines my day. I can't start my day if I don't know what's gonna happen or how I should be. Just fucking live your life. Don't base your shit off of made up bullshit. Doesn't make any sense.
They're boring people, Dylan. That's the big thing here. They're boring people. They need something to clamor on to.
Yeah, so they have something to talk about with somebody they meet in the day.
What's the boy version of horoscopes?
We talked about this one before, actually. I believe that what we settled on was what crypto you're into.
Okay.
I was gonna say, there's gender specific. It's fucking crazy.
Looking at patterns on the stock market.
I definitely don't do that either, so I think I'm just, floating
The boys
out
are monitoring the situation in France.
Yes,
Did we talk about what's happening in France on the podcast?
I was going to ask you
We
about
haven't
that.
talked about that, no.
What the fuck's going on in France?
Did I put that in the topics and then totally forget to bring it up?
You did. What the fuck's going on in...
That's very funny. Paris, France got set on fire for a couple of days. I think the situation is under control because I haven't heard about it recently, but I'm not totally sure. So basically, I guess it was a week ago now, maybe more. There was some 17-year-old immigrant kid got shot and killed by police at a traffic stop. This then triggered every immigrant in the city to go running around and burning things to the ground. And it kept escalate. I was watching it for that first day, and it kept escalating more and more. Literally by the end of the day, by the time I was going to sleep, it was okay, police are getting in shootouts with rioters out here.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
There were all these videos from rooftops of just fire and bombs going off all over the city. It was
Jesus
not
Christ.
good. But
was there a certain demographic specifically, or was it just all immigrants?
It was immigrants. It was
Okay.
different Arabic immigrants doing this shit.
Oh, that's great. You love to hear that. Assuming it's probably over at this point, there's some kind of recovery state going on. Is that what's to be believed?
Police are cracking down hard on people, and I don't know. I literally have not been exposed to any information, really. I can only... It'll be interesting to see what happens in the next election, because, based on the videos I'm seeing, I'm guessing there's going to be a massive backlash to this, to the point where, in their next election, some, super hardcore right-wing, anti-immigrant person is going to end up getting elected.
What I'm wondering at this point is where the hell did they get all the bombs and fire? I'm aware Molotov cocktails exist, but...
They were making the bombs.
That's
some
insane.
of the guns they were stealing from antique museums and shit.
Fucking resourceful.
It was
as hell.
wild stuff, man. A bunch of churches got burned down.
Sacrilegious
Not good.
assholes. What the fuck,
Yeah.
man?
It's not great.
Yeah, they fucking burned down Notre Dame for the second time here.
They did burn down a place called Notre Dame, but it was a different one.
Damn it.
Damn it, you wanted to burn it down a second time?
Jackson, that was fucking sarcasm. What are you talking about, man?
That did not sound like sarcasm.
You guys need to get better at hearing sarcasm.
You need to get better at presenting your sarcasm.
I think talking through
Be better.
I think talking through Discord probably isn't like the best way to portray
We're
sarcasm.
what do you mean? We're literally talking to each other and hearing each other's voices.
You can't hear the inflections in my voice as well
Yes,
as I
what
can.
the fuck are you saying?
Are you a fucking retard? What are you
No.
talking about?
It's undiagnosed, but as far as I'm concerned, it's a no.
Undiagnosed retardation.
Dude, that'd be a great punk band.
That's pretty solid, actually.
Oh no.
Undiagnosed retardation. What would their first album be?
Fucking.
This glue tastes good.
That's actually not too bad. Yeah,
There we
I kinda
go.
like that one.
I know what I'm talking about, boys.
This glue tastes good. There we go.
Give me a fucking record.
I came up with a band name recently, and the band name is Come with a K, and I don't mean K-U-M. I mean literally Come with a K.
Oh.
and then the first album they release is K-U-M. Then no, it's a self-titled album semicolon K-U-M.
Oh.
There you
Just
go.
to like really confuse people. So like, dude, did you hear the self-titled album Come by Come with a K? And they're like, huh? No, but just to mess with people a bit. I think it'd be funny. And
Yeah, it
also
could be silly.
the logo would be like KUM with a big like cancel sign over it.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what kind of music they play is the problem.
Reggae.
Come with a K is a reggae band.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that shit actually. Alright, each of you guys come up with a band name. Go.
Can I just claim the rights to the one we just made up?
You can claim undiagnosed retardation.
Let's go.
Fantastic.
Got a pass.
Witnessing Jehovah.
Okay. It's not terrible.
Is this a gospel or is it death metal?
No, they're
Death metal
ska.
gospel.
Death metal gospel, let's go.
Jackson, give us a band name. Summon one from within yourself.
Oh gosh, man. For some reason, the only ones that I'm conjuring sound edgy as fuck, but that's not one.
Sometimes it's the first thing you think of that's your true answer.
Oh no, I'm looking at a fucking, just like on our movie posters. And I was looking at Joker, and literally the first one I think of is "Cry for Help" is like the name of the band. I'm like, that's so fucking edgy.
No, I like that.
That's
That's
actually
good. Cry
kinda
for
good,
help.
though.
That's definitely a scene band, but
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Tanner,
I
do you
like
think
that.
that if you grew up, like, in the early 2000s or 90s, do you think you would have been a scene kid?
I did though.
I mean, like, if you were, like, a teenager.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would I have been a scene guy? No.
Yeah,
I would not have.
Fair.
You might have been.
probably. I feel like there's a decent chance that Jackson absolutely would have been.
I feel like I know a song by them, but I don't
By who?
seen the band you guys are talking about.
Dylan's confused.
I
No one
am
does not
confused.
know
Hold
what the
on.
fuck we're talking about.
I don't. That's how I don't know it anyway.
I wouldn't be surprised if there's a band called Scene, but that's not.
I thought there was. I thought that's what we were talking about.
No,
No,
we're
sir.
talking about like, not even the genre. It's more like a.
It's a way of life, really.
Yeah, I guess.
Ah,
Yes, actually, pretty much.
I see. Makes sense.
We got
now, I think.
a artist called Scene Queen, but it does not appear.
Crazy.
Here we go, a 2000 scene mix. Maybe I'll listen to this. Who do we have on here? Offspring, Hollywood Undead, Andrew WK. Sounds about right.
The first two are pretty solid.
What? You don't like Andrew WK?
I don't know who that is.
Host of Destroy, Build, Destroy?
Oh, it's that guy. Yeah, his show was pretty cool.
Fat shaming or fat acceptance? Which are you more into? You have to pick one.
Shaming.
Fat shaming.
I definitely
Dillyn.
feel like people are in charge of becoming healthy and getting in shape. So if they choose not to, that's on them. So I guess I'm on fat shaming.
There we go. I'm happy to hear it, guys.
Mm-hmm.
If I could do it, you could do it too. I'm still kind of fat, but that's not the point.
Yeah, I'm a fat shaming camp even without having to be, one. Like
I don't know if you're necessarily the poster boy for like.
Oh, I'm definitely not. Like, my body fat percentage is just shy of 16%, but we're working on it, man.
That can't be true.
It is true.
Like, no offense, you're not 16.
It is true.
I don't believe it for a second.
I
You
don't
don't
even know
have
if
to
I'm like
believe it, Tanner.
16%.
Jackson, you should definitely be lower than 16%.
I believe it if Jackson is around 16.
I have a scale for it. It generally estimates.
Yeah, but that's not going to be accurate. Is the thing.
It's going to be accurate within 1 to 2%. It's not going to be that
No.
far off. What do you mean no?
No.
I'm not going to pay an exorbitant amount of money to go have my body fat percentage tested.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm saying, like, I'm just telling you, you're not 16%. If I had to guess for you, you're probably 18 to 20.
Nah.
This episode's just really discouraging Dillyn today. We're calling him fat,
suppose
telling him
so.
that he's retarded.
He's not fat, though.
Do you think I give
if you're
a
under
shit?
25, you're healthy, you know?
Yeah, there we go. Nico, if
Now,
I was
Dillyn.
upset about any of these things, I wouldn't be here.
Dylan, when do you
Isn't
think
that
you're going to redo your defensive Lolicon?
Considering I don't actually remember what I said the first time, and the
You
fact that
keep saying that like it was just a joke or whatever, though.
yeah, it was, because I don't think I fully understood the concept when I did it.
He remembers that it was a joke, but not exactly what was the joke.
So, a lolly is just a character that looks like a child but isn't the age of a child?
No, I think they are a child.
It
I
can
mean,
vary.
Yeah,
what?
they can
It
be
can
a
be
child, they
both.
could not be a child.
That
Yeah.
doesn't make any sense.
It's just mostly if they're child presenting, I guess.
Yeah.
Child presenting. Oh, what kind of band is that?
child
Not
presenting.
one anyone should. It's like a Juggalo adjacent, you know.
Yeah,
Dark
absolutely.
Juggalo.
I was gonna go the joke around and say gospel, but we'll go with that.
Gospel.
Jesus.
You're damn right.
All right, so
Anyway,
Dylan, when are
so-
you going to be creating Dylan's defense of Dylan's defensive Lolicon?
Oh man, I
That'd
mean
be
at this
very
point,
funny.
I guess at this point I probably should make it. I don't know. I guess I just need to more firmly understand. So, lollies are just characters that look like children. Is that
Yes.
what I'm to believe? Okay, well
Basically.
then, my basic argument is like stop being attracted to animated characters and don't be attracted to children. It's just as easy as that.
That's not all what you said in that video.
You said it's the defense of the defense. I don't remember what I said.
Sounds like you need to make another video.
Listen, animated characters aren't real, so you should be attracted to them. And then also, they're children, so that's like a double negative, which still doesn't make
Done.
it positive. You should go
Now
further
you're
negative.
attacking your defense.
That sucks, man.
Now, Dylan, you say this constantly. What's wrong with being attracted to animated characters?
They're not real.
So?
I feel like that's wasted emotions.
This is what he always says, Tanner. He always says this.
I mean, Dillyn, do you romantically pursue every real person you feel attraction towards?
No.
Then isn't that wasted emotions too?
No, because I don't have them in the first place.
You don't find
You're
anyone
a fucking
attractive?
retard. Fuck you.
Not really.
What an
He's
idiot.
never found a
What?
single woman attractive.
What the fuck do you mean?
What do you mean? That's exactly what I said. I don't
Dylan, do you think you might be asexual or something?
I don't
There
think
you
so.
go.
There's something fundamentally wrong with you if you don't
What is-
walk
what is-
around and like think that women are attractive.
What is asexual again?
What do you think it means?
Not attracted to anything?
There you go. You got it,
Yeah.
Dylan.
There we go.
Do you think you might be asexual, Dylan?
Yeah, are you on the ace spectrum?
I seriously doubt it.
You could be demi-ace.
I don't fucking confuse me more than I already am, Tanner. We already know where this
Maybe you're a
rabbit
gray
hole leads
ace.
to.
Have you thought about that, Dylan?
Tanner, shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna know what any of this means.
Dylan, it's
No one
possible that
does.
you just, like, you know, don't find anyone attractive or, like, you know, really desire sexual experiences at all, but at the same time, you still yearn for a romantic connection.
Sure.
Is that you, Dylan? Does that describe you at all, do you think?
I guess so.
Okay.
I'm just trying
There we
not to
go,
waste my
Dylan.
time,
We
man.
learned something new about you today. You're asexual, dude.
Sure, I guess.
There's no other
Victory.
explanation if that's not the case. Unless you're just lying to us blatantly, which is probably what's happening.
Probably not.
Then you're asexual.
Listen, man, I don't put very much thought into it. I really don't care either way.
What do you put thought into, Dylan?
Things that I care about.
Like what?
don't know. I don't really have anything I could say here that matters.
Okay.
What is that? What the fuck does that mean?
I only focus on one thing at a time. I usually don't ponder things too long or at all.
He does not ponder the orb.
I don't know what that means.
Dillyn's just really having a go of it this episode.
I take things one at a time, man. I don't worry about it.
Alright, so are you boys ready for Guapish at the movies?
I hope so.
Guapish at the movies.
Guapish at the movies.
I don't even know what you're doing.
I'm
Who's doing
Jurassic Park
again?
Oh, again.
And why are you doing Jurassic Park again, Tanner?
Jackson?
Yeah,
Maybe
Jackson.
because we watched Jurassic Park 3 today.
What the
Today?
fuck? What the fuck?
He's gone. I hope
He's
that's
gone. Anyways, fuck Jurassic Park 3. We're talking about the Fast and the Furious. Our Patreon
What's
picked
now?
this movie.
We can't do that, Jackson. We have to talk about Jurassic Park
can.
3.
Of course we can do that.
Dude,
What do
this
you
is- This is
mean?
the thing, man. If I don't do it this way, I've got to edit my code slightly, and that takes effort.
God damn it. Okay, fine. We'll do Fast
I
and
can do it
Furious.
for you,
Or
Jackson.
Let's be
The
very
Fast and Furious.
Yeah, no. That's not the name of
Oh,
it,
there's a
Jackson.
the. I have it wrong in my
Yeah,
code.
you need to you mixed them together a bit. It's The Fast and The Furious.
Yes.
Not to be confused with Fast and Furious,
Which is a later
which we will be seeing later on.
Maybe.
Yeah, possibly.
Yeah, this is a
Potentially.
Patreon pick by Lavaskin. Thanks for requesting this. The TLDR of this movie is that we see some people hijacking trucks at the start, or we see the main character, I guess, trying to like drive his car fast, and then it cuts to like them hijacking trucks. I can't remember the exact timeline of events, but basically what goes on, we have an undercover cop, and he's trying to get close to the Don, or whatever his name is. I can't even remember at this point. I think it was Don.
His name is Dom.
DOM.
I thought it was Don, like he's like the big Don.
No, he's
His
like
name
a,
is literally Dom Toretto.
That's
yeah,
funny.
because he's like a dominant figure, you know.
Exactly,
Yeah,
he's a Don.
sure.
So yeah, he's doing some bad stuff. The undercover cop is trying to get to like the bottom of this like underground racing scene and like potentially what they're doing like illegally, and he tries to get closer to Dom in this scenario because he's like kind of like the kingpin of a big group of them, and he does, and then he reveals that he's a cop, and then there's like a big scene where they're like trying to steal a truck, and then he stops them, and they have a big emotional scene where they drag race and almost die in a vicious manner by train, and then the movie ends.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, Jackson, it's all about family, dude.
It is all about family. We didn't get... Yeah, I guess we did.
It's not really. I mean, I guess they have a dinner scene. They don't start pushing the family too hard yet.
yeah,
not
it's
later.
very early in the series still.
Yeah, that comes later. So big question here for you guys, right off the bat. Who is the Fast and who's the Furious?
None of them.
Huh.
Yeah.
Because the Fast and the Furious.
I guess Dom
mean-
is pretty furious.
Yeah.
The Asian
I
guy
guess-
was pretty furious as well, just like drive-by shooting people with fucking automatic SMGs on his motorcycle.
Yeah.
I feel like Paul Walker might be the Furious because he's not faster than Dom.
Yeah. Is he really that furious, though?
He's an undercover cop, Tanner. He could be faking it,
He's angsty.
I guess.
True.
is.
He does get a little furious at one point. He punches a guy.
Honestly,
Yeah.
when I was watching this movie, some podcast listeners might not know this fun character in the Guapish compendium here, but he's been on a few episodes. I just kept constantly thinking this guy acts like Blake. Mostly in like the start of the movie, he was giving off mad Blake energy. Was all I was thinking of. Just like the way he like handles scenes, like social
BBE.
interactions and stuff. I thought that was really funny.
I was kind of getting that energy too. I'm glad I'm not the only one that thought that.
Can I give one of my complaints about this movie?
Go for it, man.
The
what we're here
shaky
for.
cam.
Oh my fucking god!
Holy shit.
Some scenes are so fucking nauseating with it. It is almost unwatchable.
They've got like shit passing in front of the camera and stuff too. Like they really try to focus on making cars look really fast, but it just makes them look dumb.
Yeah, a lot of the action scenes as well are just fucking unintelligible with that shit.
Yeah. The funniest thing
Yeah.
too is from a car guy perspective, I was really expecting a lot more from this movie, but obviously because
Yeah.
they have to dumb down a lot of things to fit a wider audience. This movie's pretty stupid from like a
You
car
had
guy
many
perspective.
complaints.
Yeah, I was constantly ripping on this movie when we were watching.
I can only
it
imagine.
for all sorts of
Alright.
random dumb shit they were doing.
Hold on, Jackson. 60 seconds. Give us Jackson's car talk.
Car talk. All right, easy number one here is that they're constantly talking about like a 10-second car being really fast. You can build like a 10-second car is like how fast a car can run in a quarter mile. That's not really that fast. It's honestly pretty fucking slow in modern day. I don't know how it was like 20 years ago. So this is less like a big complaint. But I thought it was really funny that like a 10-second car was like a really fast car back then. But that's like peanuts nowadays. That's like a baseline car. They're constantly doing like one hand when they're drag racing, which is fucking retarded and insanely unsafe. Like you need to have both hands on the wheel, especially if you're like ripping around like that. It's insanely unsafe to do that. The fucking car was like on the very first drag race they did with Paul Walker. His car was like totally smoking and like looked like the fucking engine blew up and he drives off like immediately after, like nothing happened. Even though it was totally smoking like crazy, like a fucking coolant line broke or some shit. Nitrous oxide is fucking retarded. That's not how it works at all. It's really cheesy and stupid. It's like some fucking Need for Speed bullshit.
What do you mean? It doesn't make you go fast?
I mean, it does, but that's just not how it like you normally have it set up in a car. It's normally more of like a passive thing rather than like an active thing. Yeah, it's pretty silly, honestly. Most of this movie is pretty stupid and dumb and silly.
Jackson was constantly complaining about this one hand thing.
I could only imagine how watching this movie with Jackson was. I'm just kind of glad I watched it on my own.
Jackson, I'm kind of curious because I feel like they don't communicate this very well in the movie. Is there skill involved in the sort of just straight line racing they're doing, or is it purely like, hey, I think my car happens to be faster than yours?
As far as shifting goes,
there's absolutely skill involved. I mean, normally you're not using fucking nitrous oxide for drag racing at all. The big thing about this is that they're doing drag races in like street cars too, which is really fucking stupid. Normally you build like an actual drag car with like drag radials, like specific tires that are meant for drag strips and stuff. But that's beside the point. But there is, specifically with like shifting gears. Because you can shift gears wrong, you can shift them too quickly, you can shift them slowly, things like that. And that takes away a lot of time. And obviously these guys are driving manual cars, which is like the big deciding factor outside of just like horsepower and stuff. Because you can have like a much faster horsepower car, but if you're fucking dog set shift, you can miss a gear or something like that and like fuck up the whole race.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's why if you ever
That's
played
good
those,
to know.
That's why if you ever played those racing arcade games, you could fuck it up. So that's how you know.
Sure. The music in this movie is absurd. Holy. Now, I'm not even saying, like, bad. It's just crazy.
Yeah, it was either
It's all the hits we want.
Yeah.
Is my mind making this up, or did they play Papa Roach?
I don't remember.
I don't remember
Maybe.
hearing Papa Roach.
I don't remember.
It was all the 2000 hits we want to
Yeah.
see. And, like, that's my next point. This is the This is probably like the most aggressively 2000s film I have ever seen.
Especially with their outfits, dude. Their fucking outfits are insane.
The like the way the insides of all the buildings look, the attitudes, the way people are behaving, it is like Jesus.
Yeah. I guess a couple of points for me. This happened way heavier towards the beginning. It kind of popped up every once in a while throughout the movie. The camera shots and like the effects and everything they were doing were just super fucking goofy. Like the way that they had the car speed off and like the warbly like space warp color shit when you're inside the car, just like really disorienting and like motion sick.
That cartoony
inducing
stuff was weird.
Yeah, and they were heavy on it at the beginning. I'm like, man, I don't remember this in the movie. This is gonna continue. This is gonna be horrible. And luckily, it looks like they dialed it down a ton.
I don't think they do like really weird sort of like I don't know, interpretive sort of visual effects like that like in any of the other ones. I think they were like, that's
I mean, it was their
it
first
doesn't really
movie.
match the tone they're going for.
They're just trying to be like, whoa, we're racing cars at super fast speeds, look at this, and it's, you know, it just matched probably the era of like the 2000 where everybody.
You know, I'll take that back real quick. They probably do that shit in Tokyo Drift, I'm gonna guess, but it probably feels a bit better there.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Tokyo Drift. They have Donkey Kong in that one.
They also have the best song in the series.
That's
I wonder if you know
Tokyo Drift,
Tokyo,
yeah, by the Teriyaki Boys.
Huh.
Dude, I miss it from like these fucking early 2000s movies where just like every film had to have like their own theme song or whatever.
Oh yeah.
That shit was great.
Yeah, it was.
I wish
good
more
stuff,
things
man.
did that nowadays.
Yeah, I think people are just running out of creativity or something.
I'm wondering where you guys fall on this, because I don't know if they knew or if they didn't know. Race wars? Did they know?
They have
I
to,
laughed about that fucking every time they brought it up.
Yeah.
To be honest,
I don't
I feel
think
like
they
they had
did.
to know, right?
Right? It was
you would
Asian
think
people
they-
versus whiteys.
They also they play it completely straight though. Like they don't put any like little hints that they're like in on it or anything.
Yeah,
No.
no one has like raises an eyebrow or anything when they say, "All right, man, we're going to go do some race wars."
Yeah, no, it's like
to be completely
everyone
honest,
just
my-
accept this is the name of the thing. I don't know if the writers knew, you know.
My brain
They have
definitely
to.
did not interpret it this way until you mentioned it just now.
Hot damn.
Dillyn is
The
one of the
intended-
average writers who wrote the Fast and Furious movies.
Nah, man, I never write this movie. What are you talking about?
I found it very funny at that end scene where they missed the train and then got hit by a truck. That was very funny.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
That was such a violent crash, too. Especially
Yeah.
a car like that. I didn't see a roll cage or anything in it when they were looking at it for the first time. And that's like some
I
old-
noticed a roll cage
There was
on
a roll
it.
cage? Okay, I just
Yeah.
missed it then. Yeah, I was
For
gonna say, if you didn't
whatever
have a roll
reason-
cage, that whole thing should have fucking collapsed in like a tin can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For whatever
I'm
reason.
curious if you guys agree with this.
Okay.
I'm curious if you guys agree with this. Based on this one alone, I don't know how this went on to become a franchise with like 10 plus films.
Yeah.
I feel like after Paul Walker died, it was more like a we have to carry it on for Paul Walker.
Answer the
kinda
question
thing.
I asked, Dylan.
What was the
I'm
question?
with you, Tanner.
I'm also
I don't
with
understand it either.
Okay.
I don't know. I didn't realize that
Awesome.
was a
Glad
question.
we're on the same page. Anyway, I ranked this a C plus.
There we
Okay.
go.
You. I ranked it a C.
What? Jackson.
Hi.
Dude. I also ranked this movie not a C, but a C minus.
Damn.
Dylan, what are you thinking?
A plus from you?
No. That was my original rating.
Really?
Yeah, I was.
Why?
I enjoyed the movie. Fucking, I don't know. Maybe B. I'll give it a B.
B?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why'd it
I
go
was-
down so much?
Jackson convinced me with his car talk.
Car talk.
I mean, the point of all this stuff is to like dumb down these car things to make it more interesting or more like accessible to a wide audience. So I don't think it's that egregious, to be honest. It's mostly like nitpicks. One big gripe I didn't mention actually, and I'm remembering now, is this whole operation they were doing with the stealing like truckloads and stuff is so fucking retarded. Especially
Yeah,
it doesn't
because
make any
all it took was one guy with a gun to thwart the entire operation and get it spiraling. Like one dude with a shotgun and it all falls apart. It's insane.
Yeah, but they
how
weren't
it got
equipped
this
to
far.
handle it.
I will
They
say
didn't even know
that-
it was gonna happen.
I will say that action scene of them like trying to steal from that guy with the gun, I thought that was pretty sweet.
I do think so too. That was definitely enjoyable. I just think there's comedy in the fact that like this professional operation is so easily thwarted by one guy with a fucking shotgun.
I don't know why these these truckers evidently were not carrying guns to begin with.
Yeah,
Right?
you normally think they would be.
Oh well.
Also, I like how the idea is that like the truckers go to the police and they're like, "Hey, we're gonna start just carrying guns." Why would they need to tell them?
Yeah.
Huh? Anyways,
I don't know.
where'd that land us, Jackson?
That puts us at a C plus,
Okay.
Not too shabby, not too shabby.
slightly above average. Next up for movies, then we've got not Jurassic Park. Unfortunately, we're
Damn.
saving the best, not the best in my eyes for last. We're looking at Evangelion 2.0. You can, in parentheses, not out of parentheses, advance, the second movie of the rebuild.
Ah, damn. Dylan, you want to summarize this bad boy for us?
Yeah, you just
No.
watched it, fresh in your head.
Yeah.
Damn it! I wanted to summarize the other one. So basically, we
No,
open
I'm
up.
summarizing the other one.
Oh, okay.
Tanner will
So-
try to summarize the other one.
So
Very,
basically,
very quickly.
basically, we open up to like this fucking angel trying to escape somewhere, and then there was this Eva trying to fucking stop it. And the next thing you know, the Eva fucking blows up, and this chick with glass pops out. Flash over to the people we know, and got all these Evas and shit. And then they're just still trying to stop, angels. And next thing you know, there's like this new girl, and she likes working by herself. So we kind of explore like the relationships of the general of everybody in general, like the son trying to fix his relationship with his dad, and the three kids trying to get along and shit. And then next thing you know, there's like this one big ass angel that looks like a mummy. He starts fucking shit up. He's like really getting at it, destroying everything. He's like the first angel, from what I've experienced, to like breach through the armor plating. And the same glasses girl, probably from like Russia or something, steals the second Eva to stop it, and she like unleashes some beast form. Looks fucking cool. She stalls it long enough, and then fucking like destroys that one. And then Ray is like, I'm gonna get in mine, even though it's damaged. I'm gonna nuke the fucking thing. Nukes everything there. Doesn't stop it. Eats her and like becomes one with her. And then what's the kid's name? He's like, oh my gosh, I've changed my mind. I wanna pilot Eva and stop it, because he made the decision he wasn't going to. So then he gets in the Eva, and he's fucking getting wrecked. And then all of a sudden he becomes one with the machine or something, becomes like a true angel or something, and absolutely fucks this angel, and then like saves Ray. Then some weird merging shit happens, and like, oh my god, it's the third impact. And then the kid from the moon in his Eva throws a fucking spear and stops it. He's like, oh, I just want to make you happy. And then the movie ends.
Also,
wait, what the fuck?
Oh,
wait,
yeah,
hold on. I don't remember
after,
that last
after
part at
credit
all.
scene. There's an after credit scene.
Oh yeah, there's an
Basically,
after credit scene.
Yeah, the dude, I honestly didn't know about it either. Dylan looked at it. We literally just watched it earlier. But basically, the TLDR of what happens there is the dude that we keep seeing on the moon throughout the movie is like pilots that fucking big ass mech that's on the moon, and there's a spear of Longinus, like the big ass red spear, and he just fucking chucks it through Shinji and stops it all from happening.
Yeah.
Damn, I wish I knew that existed. That interesting.
Yeah.
Right off the bat, I want to say that this movie is better than the first one in just about every conceivable way.
Yeah.
I believe every complaint I had with the first one is, if not outright fixed, drastically improved upon with this one.
Yeah, the pacing is so much better in this film. Like, I definitely see what you're talking about, the slower one, because this one feels much more like an actual like movie in terms of its pacing. Everything's played out. Also, Dylan did mention in his recap, but this is the movie where we're introduced to Asuka. And we also see like the graphic scene of her going into one of her not Eva 02 or normal one, which has an angel in it, and then fucking Shinji has to fucking kill her. But it's like the dummy that does
How
that.
did she survive?
She did survive. Yeah,
We don't know how she survived.
I'm saying how.
Oh, how?
We don't know.
Because she's the fucking. They're not actually like in the direct center of the whatever it's called, the fucking the pod thing where they're inside of it. But yeah, she's in like very critical condition. Regardless.
Yeah.
All right, massive question here, real quick. Dylan,
What's up?
who is best girl, Ray or Asuka?
Or Masato.
No, we're leaving Masato out of here.
She's too overpowered.
I don't know. I like Ray.
Motherfucker, I knew it, Jax. This is what I was fucking saying, dude.
Yeah, we were talking about this in the car
Asuka's a
a
bitch.
couple of days ago.
I fucking hate her.
Asuka
I didn't want
is
her to
dramatically more likable in this than in the show.
Yeah, she
I
is.
wouldn't know that, so that's outside information.
Watching
to me.
this makes me realize how stupid all of like the Shinji Asuka bonding bullshit was. We didn't need any of that, and I'm so glad they literally did not have any of it in this movie.
Yeah,
Dude,
they
they
cut out
fucking-
so much fluff.
Dude, they played DDR together.
They sure did.
They watched Orange and Blue on the TV.
Guys,
You want
don't
to watch
spoil
Orange
the
and your
anime
dumb
for
bitch
me.
wife wants to watch Blue.
I love that meme.
I will say one complaint I do have that's pretty constant from the last one is the questions introduced to answers given ratio is still
Oh, I had way more
Not
questions
so-
after. I asked Jackson so many fucking questions about like why do the kids have to pilot the Evas? Are the Evas created or are they found? Like all this shit. He gave me some stuff, kind of easy answers, but he didn't remember a lot of them.
TLDR hasn't been explained yet most of the time.
Yeah,
Or
My
it has,
question
it's
is
been
why-
very subtle.
Personally, I'm totally fine with that sort of ratio. When it comes to like sort of mystery shit, you want there to be like a decent mixture of like a decent pace of them like discovering things, but then there's still being like more questions that need to be asked down the line. Like when you watch some shitty ass anime like Shiki or some shit, where they immediately address pretty much all of the mystery, then you're just kind of left with nothing for the most part.
It's not a fucking mystery show, dickhead.
Well, my
true.
problem is we're not making any discoveries. Like, I literally could not tell you anything about, like, the state of the world and why that is. Like, why is the ocean red?
You literally missed it. They talked about that because of the second impact. They totally missed it.
I know it's because of the second impact, but like...
The blood of the angels.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? It's all angel blood?
Yeah, they described it when they were in like the aquarium scene when fucking the dude was talking about Misato's past and her experiencing the second impact.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What's and then there's that space view of Earth. I'm like, what the fuck?
That's where that's where the second impact happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This shit's crazy, yo.
Yeah.
The action scenes are way better, way more actiony.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, the fucking
the part where it's like fighting the weird geometry one, I think. Where they have like those big platforms come up and they can run on the wall and whatever.
Oh, yeah.
That shit was sick as fuck and also doesn't make any sense why they would build that. There's no way they could have But what,
they seem
cool.
prepared for every situation though, so.
Yeah, this entire city is literally a Deus Ex Machina.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I'm gonna leave my logic as to why the city exists out of it. I mean, in general, because you're talking about where it's like the giant, like, fucking eye jellyfish thing where they gotta have all three of them stop it, right, Tanner? I think that's the one you're talking about.
Yes.
Okay.
There you go, you're right. The bomb one.
Because I was like, there was that one, then there's like the ice one where it's like, yeah, all the prisms and shit, where the one new girl, Asuka, falls out of the sky and just fucking one-shots the thing in one go. It's fucking crazy. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, I mean, generally, I enjoyed all the action scenes. I like how they explored the relations between, they were, like, trying to delve deeper into, like, between Shinji and his dad, and then it's, like, Rei and Shinji are getting along super well, and then, like, started to seem like there was something between Asuka and Shinji, and then it was kind of, like, still ambiguous, and nothing really ever happened because she was presumed dead.
Yeah,
but it was
I
just
think
a lot
it's definitely
of drama.
implied that Asuka has fallen for Shinji in at least some manner, figuring she's trying to poke about fucking Rei about it. Speaking of Rei and Asuka, the elevator scene, boys, they cut the elevator scene. I mean, it's still there, but it's drastically shorter.
I don't know what you're talking about.
So in the original anime, the scene where Asuka enters the elevator with Rei is like 30 seconds of silence, basically, where they're sitting there, and then finally Asuka like starts talking to Rei. But it's like maybe 5 seconds in the movie.
Yeah.
Bullshit, I tell you, bullshit.
Yeah, I want to test the waters here, because this is something I mentioned to Jackson. In most other protagonist-based animes where the protagonist has some sort of power, where it's like, so in Evangelion, for example, Shinji is like, he has to pilot number one, like, no matter what, like, we have to prioritize number one. Do you think the fucking massive power boost he gets out of nowhere just because he, does... He loses power, he gets power, and now he's way stronger than this angel, because it tends to happen in other animes. What's your guys' thoughts on that? Because this shit happens in Dragon Ball and My Hero Academia.
We literally know what the answer is the problem, Dillyn.
Oh, okay, well never mind, don't answer it then. I'll wait till the anime.
It makes sense though, it's really...
I mean, I guess that's fair. My thing is maybe he actually is one of the children or whatever, like Rei and that other kid are, but he's not actually showing it yet or something. So some kind of hidden ability thing. He's like a special child of some kind. But okay.
Anyways, do you know what the deal is with Rei, Dillyn?
I know that she needs to be in a tank to survive. She said something along those lines. I think her life force can't be sustained normally or whatever. I don't know the details.
Anyway, speaking of things near the ending of the movie, I think that's one of my biggest gripes with this movie overall is just the weirdness. It's they're not very violent things as well. Just with how Shinji is thrust into the action against the 10th Angel after it infuses with Rei. He's just fucking cowering in some random bunker, and then of course the chick has to fucking smash into the bunker that he's in, and then pick him up suddenly and just show him the action, which inspires him suddenly to go and save her, and then suddenly he's in the middle of fucking nowhere, and then runs a 10-miler run, somehow gets into Nerve HQ very, very quickly somehow to fucking pilot Unit 1. I don't know how the fuck this all happened so quickly. I thought that was really goofy. His actual intention for wanting to do the fight and that itself were fine, but just the aspect of him doing that transition was weird to me.
Yeah, it's a little contrived. I wasn't a huge fan of that either.
It's they didn't know how to make it work.
Yeah.
How do we get him to get into this fight? We've really pigeonholed ourselves into this writing decision we did earlier.
Yeah.
Also, they're trying to follow the anime, and they're how the fuck do we continue with this?
Also, if you guys know the answer to this, just stay silent. Is no other country, like, aware that these EVAs have some, I guess, secondary function of, like, the Glasses Girl's, like, beast, or, like, the beast, and it transforms the EVA and gives it, like, a fucking primal power boost or whatever?
The beast form is not talked about at all in the anime.
Okay. Because I thought that was interesting. I was like, how does this one country know when, obviously, Japan seems like they're the most advanced and are handling most of the EVA shit and Angel shit. So, I just thought that was a little strange.
It's unknown for now, I think.
Of course.
Probably.
I was gonna say, yeah, I was gonna talk a little bit about the dub here. So I'm watching it in the sub. And I oversaw like a little bit of it when Dillyn was watching the dub previously. There's like a bunch of like random tiny little things. Fucking Masato sounds weird as hell. She kind of sounds like a... I don't know how to describe it. She just sounds like a weird voice to me. Shinji sounds like an absolute little bitch. Like I want to punch him.
It's perfectly fitting for his character. That's what I was just about to bring up. Shinji's voice actor is perfect for the role because Shinji is a little fucking sniveling bitch, Jackson.
That is true.
It's pretty incredible, but it's hard to like get used to it after listening to the anime.
That's
dub.
Fair. That's the only voice
that makes
I know,
Shinji
though.
sound like a strong main character,
Yeah, but I don't really care that much about that stuff. The big annoyance I have with it, and this is like just an annoyance I have with anime dubs in general, is they're like, for example, in the actual like Japanese dub of it, there are many moments in which people are speaking English, right? So like Mary, whatever her name is, she speaks English on the phone because she's American or whatever. And you'll hear like all over like in Nerve HQ and stuff, they'll like be doing announcements in Japanese and then they'll switch over to doing an announcement in English, and they'll do things like that all the time throughout the anime. And then like when I was out there watching with Dillyn for a little bit, they're just doing it all in fucking English, which like I don't know, the world building it definitely hampers the world building a lot, and it's just lazy. Like when Mary was talking on the fucking top of the school, she was apparently just talking in English with like Japanese subtitles on the bottom, which is so fucking lazy. Like I know there's some anime that'll like have them speaking in Spanish or something goofy, which I can appreciate, but I don't know, it's just like a really lazy way of doing it, and I'm kind of disappointed at them for doing that.
You know what, Jackson? That explains the beginning, because you were like, why the fuck are there subtitles? Those weren't Chinese subtitles, those were definitely Japanese, and I think that was another point. They were supposed to be talking English in the Japanese dub.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is.
Alright, makes sense then. Perfect.
I personally don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah, well.
It breaks immersion a little bit.
You're
like blatantly just not seeing what the original creators intended.
I guess so.
What, to each their own. If it helps you watch it, then who fucking cares, I guess. Anyways, on to the rankings, unless we have anything else to talk about.
No.
Asuka's fine as hell.
Oh. Okay.
I like I really love the camera angles in this. The camera angle work is like super fun, especially like of course the scene where she's cooking and you get to see everything from like the POV shot, not the POV, but like pointing at her when she's like sitting there making stuff.
Yeah.
Very, very fun. There's lots of examples like that throughout the entire movie.
Yeah, it's just those like nice little touches. They didn't have to do it, but they went that little extra mile.
Hell yeah. Dillyn, what are you giving this movie?
S+.
S+, goddamn, there we go.
Jesus.
Start us off strong here. Terrence, bring us down to reality. What are you thinking for this one? You gave C+ to the last one.
Whoop, there goes gravity.
And you said this film was significantly better than the previous one.
Yeah,
it is significantly better. The problem is, you mentioned that end credit scene, and I kind of want to watch it because I feel like that would bring it down for me, to be honest.
Literally the only thing that happens is it shows like Shinji's unit, and then a fucking spear comes out of nowhere and impales him, and it stops everything. Like everything just ends. Like that whole thing you saw at the end, and like this Eva comes floating down with a big old halo over his head, and it's that kid from the moon. He's like, "Oh, I'm just here to make sure that you are happy," and then it ends. It says to be continued.
It still ends on a lot of questions. I don't really know how they change it that much for you.
Yeah,
I just like the way it ended originally much better.
I guess so.
And I think the Amazon version legitimately does not have that.
No, it does.
You watch it on the Amazon version. It's just after credits.
Really? Dang. Well, my ranking is based on having not seen that, and if I had seen it, it feels like I'd bring my ranking down. But anyway, right now I'm giving it an A.
Here, I got you, Tanner.
Dude, I'm also giving an A.
Holy smokes. I'm giving it the same ranking, though I do actually think this movie is better than the first one. I'm giving it the same ranking as it though, as an S plus or an S minus, not S plus.
There you go, Tanner. I got it for you.
Let me see what we got here.
It's not gonna. I seriously doubt this is gonna change your opinion, but
B minus.
I don't know if this is in Japanese or not. I apologize in advance.
It is Japanese, but that's fine.
Yeah,
It's
Tanner can
Japanese,
hang
too.
a little bit.
Okay.
It's definitely a lamer ending. It's not bad enough for me to bring it down.
I mean, it's also just the after credit scene, so I don't know if it's considered an ending.
I mean,
I don't think it changes
it's
anything for
something.
me.
I guess so.
Anyways, that puts it at an S minus.
Let's go.
Interesting.
All right, Tanner.
as for this final film that we've been talking about just non-stop so far, Tanner Nikolai.
Yep. I'm going to redeem myself.
Yeah, do you
We'll
want
see
to
about
finally
that.
redeem yourself? Give us a
Yes.
solid little synopsis of Jurassic Park 3.
We see a kid and a dude crash on the island. Alan Grant gets hired to go find the kid, unbeknownst to him at first. And then they find the kid, and then they escape the island.
Hell
I love it,
yeah.
man. I love it.
Fair enough.
Let's go.
12 seconds is compared to your first 12-minute one.
They got chased
So-
by dinos.
Yeah.
They
Yes,
sure
they
did.
did.
I guess
marital
I'll
drama.
since I picked this movie, I guess I'll start. So this movie held a lot more luster when I was a kid. It's not like Jumanji situation for me, where I remember Jumanji being way better. But I will say, based on my new experience and like being able to actually judge CGI now, based on what you guys have been feeding me, the CGI in this movie is super rough. Especially during the beginning with the Spinosaurus and the fucking T-Rex. And unfortunately, like, the puppetry use is going further and further down, but that's to be expected as the movies
The
progress.
puppetry is much worse in this one than it was the
Yeah,
first
I was
one.
going to say,
Yeah.
That
with
as
the
well.
Spinosaurus specifically, it looks better when it's CG than when it's a puppet.
Yeah.
Well, not in the beginning, though. There's that one part at the very beginning where it's, like, chasing them, and it, like, pops through the trees and gets stuck. I don't know if you know the part I'm talking about. Nico, do you know the part I'm talking about?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
There's that one specific part where, like, pops through the trees and it gets stuck, and that part looked super bad, like, really bad. But overall,
It
I
did
thought-
not look worse than the puppet they had attacking the plane.
That's fair. But I mean, overall, I thought the acting was really good. I thought the plot was pretty solid. I think the idea of the movie, like what they were trying to do, was a really good idea. I just think the execution in a couple areas, such as like the CGI and stuff, was a little off. And especially considering the parts where we had some repeats from number 2, where there were definitely scenarios where they should have been killed by dinosaurs. Not necessarily the raptors, even though I definitely think the raptors should have killed them. I don't know if them having eggs really could have changed it all that much. But, like, especially during the pterodactyl part, where people definitely should have died a lot faster than they should have. But obviously, you know, plot armor, they got to progress things.
Well, Dylan, what do you mean by what they were trying to do with this film? What exactly do you feel like they were trying to do with it?
I liked the idea of them saying this kid got stuck on an island with this dude. They were just supposed to be there to, like, see dinosaurs or whatever. And then it's like, oh, at this point it's been 2 months. You guys should have given up hope. Even like they even stated at the beginning of the movie, like the U.S. government and the embassy and everything of Costa Rica were like, it's a lost cause. Don't worry about it. And then it's like they go and then against all odds they find the kid. They make it off the island despite there being like tons of carnivorous dinosaurs everywhere. Almost every moment they encounter on the island. But I don't know. I think the plot of the movie is solid to me, at least. I don't think it's like number 2 where there's just random shit happening for no reason kind of thing.
Well, give it to us straight at the very least here, Dylan. Do you think that this movie is better than the first one?
No.
Thank
Thank
God.
fucking God.
I'm kind of on board with what Nico was hinting at just now, where, like, I don't think this was a bad movie.
Yeah.
I don't think it necessarily justifies its own existence.
Yeah.
Definitely not.
Like, I don't think the story we got was good enough to justify making a third Jurassic Park movie.
I don't think it really adds anything to
No.
any of this. Like, all we really see, I
No.
guess, is at the very end where you see the pterodactyls flying toward the mainland, maybe, and that adds a little bit of mystery. Like, ooh, what are they going to do? Are the dinosaurs going to get to the mainland? That's all
And then
we
they
that's all
forget
we
about
see.
that.
They actually
pretty much.
don't, which is the crazy thing, because by the time you get to Jurassic World, none of that matters.
Awesome
Yeah.
to hear. Awesome.
But, I mean, I kind of see what you... Because I even stated to Jackson, I was like, just so you know, this is the second island, which is the island from the second movie. So I can see, like, that's not... They just kind of made the movie just to make it. Unfortunately, a lot of the franchises fall into the trap of, like, they think it's popular enough, they think they have an idea, so they keep doing it, and then it progressively gets worse over time. So
yeah, and it showed. This movie made significantly less in the box office than either of the other two.
Damn.
As it showed, it was rather generic and very, very simple with what it was trying to go for. I definitely will give this movie some credit for some of its scenes, though. Like, it definitely had some pretty solid scenes, in my opinion. Like, I really enjoyed when the kid was going across the bridge, and, you know, instead of, like, seeing the end of it, he sees the fucking pterodactyl coming across him. That was really intimidating. I think that was really well done. I think some other areas of the scene with the pterodactyls are pretty well done too. I like the birdcage scene. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I think the pterodactyl scene was the best out of anything in the movie, to be honest.
That was definitely one of the parts I enjoyed the most. And then also, might get some hate for this one. I actually like the scene with the Spinosaurus at the end when they're in the water. I thought that show was pretty cool, to be completely honest.
It was nice, but the puppetry was a little...
It wasn't that great, but I think like the set piece was cool with the fucking water being lit on fire. The dad at the top trying to like wrestle for his life when they're getting fucking drowned underwater, fighting for the phone. It was definitely pretty intense. I mean, obviously none of them are gonna die, but it's a Jurassic Park movie. But like it still felt pretty intense. I think it was pretty good overall. Up until like the very end, we're like sitting at the side, like, oh, is he dead? That shit was pretty stupid. But like in the action of that was pretty cool. I enjoyed both of those scenes.
Yeah, and like balancing that scene out with just cutting to some kid watching fucking Barney or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, like I like the dichotomy of the two. Yeah.
Something I like in the plot of this is I kind of do like that, you know, these parents they're just like, you know, average people, and they're like, well, our kid's on this fucking dinosaur island. We are going to scam whoever we have to get our kid back.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I kind of like the thing.
I like that, but at the same time, I fucking hate these parents. They're awful characters. They're so annoying.
They are very annoying, yeah. I was also going to say, the problem, though, is bringing Grant just doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely not.
Well, it's because...
Literally, the rationale this movie ends up laying out is that, like, Jurassic Park and Jurassic Park 2, the events of those films are, like, a known quantity in the world. Like, people know that Jurassic Park exists, and they know about, like, the events of the second one to some extent.
Yeah.
But they don't really know any of the details. Like, they don't know that Grant wasn't at the second island ever?
Yeah.
Huh?
Basically. It's also, like, weird... that they're like, oh, well, you're an archaeologist. You've encountered these dinosaurs in real life, so obviously you're the pick to make sure we get our son back from these dinosaurs. Mm-hmm. And I don't. That's like bringing a scientist to protect you from dinosaurs. He can explain to you what they're gonna do, but like, he's not gonna protect you from them.
Yeah, plus he like doesn't have any reason to want to help these people at all after they've blatantly just lied to him about everything. Like they could like touch down on the island, and like as we saw, he has absolutely no interest in helping them find their child. So like he's just basically dead weight. I mean, like he definitely helps them in the end, just because of course he does. But like in like a realistic scenario, there's like no reason for him to help them at all, and he should just be like focusing his entire intention on just escaping, just
I got a question for you guys.
Go ahead.
Would you have rather Jurassic Park 3 have been a movie about the kid surviving on the island for 8 weeks?
That's literally what I said while we were watching the movie. I was like, oh man, I can't wait for the fucking prequel of this movie where it's just about this kid surviving here.
So you're saying
I think I would have preferred, like, if this movie just didn't exist, it was just about that kid surviving there instead. I think that would have been a more interesting story.
Yeah, they really just wanted to fucking force the old actor into it because they're like, oh, we need this guy back in there.
Yeah, wait till you see the next 3, Jackson. Oh, boy. One thing I did say, mentioning the beginning, was, and this was kind of a minor thing, but I was, like, I didn't really even explain it, but I was like, yeah, and, like, the way that planes work... and the fact that, like, how fast they thought they were going to take off, they definitely didn't just nick the dinosaur and, like, fly into some trees. I don't care how fast your reaction speed is or how fast that plane's going. You're not missing a tall-ass dinosaur with another whole-ass fin on top of it and barely, like, scraping it. Also...
Why not?
Well, for one, planes don't pull up that fast. Especially a dual prop plane. That shit's unrealistic.
Well, maybe they just pulled up sooner than you thought they did.
I mean, maybe, but the way that they animated the scene, they're like, oh shit! And then they just pull it. Obviously wasn't the case. And also that dinosaur should have definitely been injured in some way, considering there was blood all over the front of the plane.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, like I said, a minor thing, to say the least.
Now, one minor thing that I personally have, why do the writers of these films just really like their characters playing around and shit?
They sure
Because
do.
they thought
it's
it was
funny.
They thought it was a funny scene from the first movie, so they thought they can get some mileage out of it in the third one.
Throwback.
But, like, on top of that, during that same scene, they show the fucking demon dinosaur walk up to them. It just kind of looks at them and just walks away. What the fuck was the deal with that?
They
It
needed a
smelled
poop
the
joke.
shit and was like, oh, there's a big scary one here.
No.
Is
They just needed
that
a
what
poop
it was
joke.
trying to convey?
That
Yeah.
definitely was what it was supposed to be, but it was a very goofy way of doing it.
But then
Doesn't
that,
it do like a really exaggerated snorting sound?
maybe,
I mean,
but,
to
like,
be fair,
the big thing there, though, is that if that is what they were trying to demonstrate, what was the fucking point of that scene then? Because that doesn't come back into play later.
no, it definitely doesn't. Because I think
that's a good point, actually.
regardless of that, like, I don't think any carnivore would, like, smell... Because he obviously sees there's food there. I don't think it'll care if it's fucking covered in shit. I think it'd still at least kill them, because it's just a predator's thing they do. So
I don't know if I agree there.
It's... Well, regardless, what I'm trying to say here is that scene was for naught. It definitely didn't need to happen, like Nico was saying.
Because they also, like, bring up the fucking T-Rex P or whatever earlier. Do they do anything with that ever?
No, he
No.
just has it. Would that be a
Deleted
Chekhov's...
scenes.
Is that a
Weird.
Chekhov's gun thing? Is
It's
that
like when
is
you
that
pick
what-
up an item in a video game and you never fucking use it.
There's got to be a better opportunity.
Yeah, exactly. I'll keep this major healing potion for the final boss fight.
To be fair, I thought the fucking T-Rex P was what he used in the smoke grenades. That's what my child brain logicked when I was watching the movie after I'd seen it the first time.
He
So-
does just say he uses just straight smoke grenades.
Yeah,
And that was
so-
the last one, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
How'd he get that P, though, guys? How'd he do it?
you don't want to know.
I assume he smeared himself in Tyrannosaur shit and just hung out in the, like the bathroom area it uses.
Oh, yeah,
I don't think dinosaurs have bathroom areas. I think it's just wherever they please.
I don't know. I could believe if they have like sort of an area they typically use to go, take a shit and stuff.
Possibly.
Do you think animals get upset when they step in shit?
No.
They're like, dang it, I stepped in shit. Or they're like,
I don't
oh, it's
think-
mud.
I
I
don't
mean,
think they care.
cats wipe their feet when they finish using a litter box, so I think they maybe do mind having shit on their feet.
Yeah, I feel
Cats
like
are, like, the
animals are
only
pretty
ones,
clean
though.
creatures sometimes.
I mean, cats. I've seen cats do it. Dogs definitely don't do it unless you train them to. So I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, dogs will, like, roll around in their own shit.
Yeah.
They're filthy creatures.
No, they're not. You take that back.
They eat their own vomit and stuff, dude.
They're trying to be efficient and not have somebody clean up their mess for them. They're trying to be courteous.
I guess that is one way of looking at it.
That's the only way I guess. The only rationale I can come up with.
Now, we talked about Blake before, but little known fact, guys, Blake's mom is actually featured in this film.
Is she actually?
Yeah, it's like the fucking main archaeologist chick or whatever the fuck from the first movie.
Really?
Yeah,
Blake's mom is Laura Dern?
that's the one, dude. It's Laura
Damn,
Dern.
that's crazy,
She
dude.
eventually changed her last name, but yeah, it's Laura Dern. That was Blake's mom. Now, do you think that fucking main guy is fucking cucking Laura Dern's husband in this film?
I think it's heavily implied.
Yeah, I think it is heavily implied. Also, what the fuck what was with that Deus Ex Machina bullshit at the very end of the movie? What did she do to get the entire military just to waltz on up in there?
Yeah, I was
Doesn't
thinking
her
that too.
husband mention working for like the parks department or some shit?
That's a lot of
Maybe.
firepower they brought regardless to rescue like 4 people.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a lot of fucking dinosaurs that could eat them, so it's understandable, Jackson.
That's true, but they brought like a fucking battalion with them.
Yeah, raptors are fucking dangerous, man.
They've got like tanks rolling up and shit.
Those are
Yeah.
amphibious vehicles, not tanks.
They're amphibious vehicles, not tanks, nerd.
Shut the fuck up, Jackson. Be educated, nerd. Yeah, that's right.
Anyways, ranks.
Yeah. Anyone else got points about Jurassic Park 3?
Not really.
Tanner?
Raptors looked pretty good usually. The way they use the raptors is dumb, and the horn thing, that shit was stupid.
It's not a horn, it's part of their nasal structure.
Shut up.
It's still fucking
pretty dumb.
stupid.
Oh my god. Whatever, guys.
All right, so ranks. I'm giving this a C-. Now, I definitely think this was better than the second film. However, I'm giving them the same rank purely because I do later intend on ranking the second film down a bit here.
Oh.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm putting this one at a B.
There we go.
Okay. I don't plan on ranking the second one any different, at least right now. I haven't looked at my ranking of that one, to be completely honest. But I am giving this one a solid C. It's a very average film overall. It's kind of a nothing burger for me.
Yeah.
All of
All right,
it's
so Dylan, you're
positive
putting
that
this
way.
in a S, right?
No.
What
I'm
are you
giving
giving
I'm giving it an A.
An A, okay.
Crazy.
And I put it at a B minus.
I'm fine with that.
Fantastic stuff, man. Fantastic stuff. Hopefully we won't have to watch another Jurassic Park bullshit for a while, because gotta admit, dinosaurs are fucking lame at this point. Fuck dinosaurs. Speaking of dinosaurs, Jackson, you want to roll the Patreon here for our next week's episode?
I would love to see what we're going to be watching this week. Let's check it out. Which lucky patron is going to get their movie picked?
Yeah.
It is going to be The Road Warrior, the 1981 film, recommended by Mr. PT.
Ooh.
Thanks, Mr. PT, for recommending the movie.
Very cool. Road Warrior, a.k.a. Mad Max 2, The Road Warrior.
Why aren't we watching the first one?
Because they didn't pick that one.
Yeah, they didn't pick that one.
What an
Fair.
idiot.
So, Tanner, this week it's you and I picking our movies. You want to go up first here?
Yeah, sure. You know, we had Independence Day, July 4th,
Yeah.
this week.
Are you gonna pick
So I wanted to...
Independence Day?
Huh?
Nothing, keep going.
I wanted to pick something patriotic in honor of America's birth month.
Huh.
So I'm going to be going with Mel Gibson's The Patriot.
Oh, I can take that movie off my list. Thank you, Tanner.
Whoa. Can't wait for it to be another S-rank movie that Dylan just missed out on.
What?
You're constantly complaining about not having any movies in S-rank, so, like, you know.
I don't know I don't know if it's S rank material, but
I guess we'll
I don't
find
either.
out
I've
first.
never seen it.
Yeah.
you've never seen it? My
No.
my history teacher had us watch it.
Crazy.
I've also
Yeah.
never seen this movie. And you know what movie I have seen, though, that I will be picking for us today, boys?
What's that?
What?
We've been watching a lot of anime movies recently, and I just want to keep that ball rolling here.
Okay.
So
Crazy.
I am going to be picking for us the Digimon movie.
Oh god.
The 2000s Digimon movie, boys.
I don't imagine this being great, but I could be
What
wrong.
an interesting week.
This movie is fucking crazy.
Crazy in what way?
You'll see.
I guess I will. I don't like the way you're laughing. It sounds bad.
Now, we talked earlier about the music choices in The Fast and the Furious.
Uh-huh. Okay.
I'm excited.
Oh,
Interesting.
God. Oh, no.
Now I'm kind of excited, to be
I'm
honest.
worried.
Yeah, I've definitely talked about this movie in the past several times, in fact, but I can only
Yeah.
presume you guys remember nothing about this movie whatsoever, so...
If you
No.
expect me to remember anything you talk about, you're crazy.
We don't expect anything from you anymore, Dylan.
That's good.
Yeah, after
If I have-
today's episode.
If I have
oh
zero
boy.
expectations put on me, then that means I have no room to fail and no room to succeed, which means I'm just neutral, which is just fine.
Okay.
Well, Dylan, you know what one thing you can succeed in today?
Oh my god, is that telling them about the Patreon?
I think you might be able to do it, man.
Oh my gosh, guys, please subscribe to our Patreon. It's just $1 a month. The value you get from that is a whole whopping 500 slime coins. You get access to our Discord where you're able to suggest movies and topics that we talk about. And then, maybe pop in, say hi, maybe we'll chat with you. Other than that, you get access to the pre and the post squat, and you get the opportunity of having us read your name at the end of the podcast like I'm about to do here. Thank you very much, Kyler Nikolai, Lava Skin, Top Ramen Man, Joshua Bean, 6 million sounds a little high, doesn't it? Tutbot, Lucas Ledette, Hunter, and Jacob Edwards. Let's try to get this list so long we can't even include it at the end. But yeah,
I mean, that'll
There's
never
no such
happen.
length. We'll read all of them always.
yeah, it'll take us 15 minutes. But yeah, you can also find us over on Rumble, and whatever other platforms I'm probably forgetting about that we haven't discussed.
All of them. We're on all of them.
We're on all of them. You'll find us literally anywhere. But other than that, I think we're just about wrapped up here, boys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.